So give the stream a second, hopefully. Yeah, okay, so hey everybody, welcome to another game from the International Preliminaries. It's going to be Navi versus TongFu. I am Basekip. This is being cast as a replay, as you may or may not have guessed from the fact that the match time is not counting down. I would be bringing you guys more of these games live, but unfortunately living in Australia makes it a little bit difficult. But anyway, I'll be getting underway in just a second, and we will be heading into the draft. And as always, super excited about the rest of the International. And Enchantress is going to be the first ban for Navi. But yeah, if anybody's watching this live, or if you're watching this as a VOD, then I should be doing daily casting practice around, I guess, 2 o'clock GMT plus 10. So hopefully that's still going on, and I won't make a liar out of myself. And just as always, just trying to get more and more practice, so feedback is always appreciated, especially if you're watching this as a VOD on YouTube or something like that. Please leave a comment. And if you don't like my casting, then please do these teams a favor and just go and watch this with one of the other casters, or jump into the game and watch it and direct the camera for yourself. But so, without any further ado, I think I've covered everything. We'll just be getting into the draft. Unfortunately, because of the nature of watching this as a replay, I've already seen some of the picks. I'm not sure about the outcome, but I'm sure it'll still be interesting, all the same. So Naga and Lycan are going to be the bans for TongFu, and Invoker is going to be banned for Navi. So we're going to see some big heroes making it through. Whether Darkseer is going to be banned now is the question. Or perhaps the Nature's Prophet. It really depends on what they want to give Navi. I think that they'll pick whichever of the two is not banned. The Navi are going to be looking to first pick it. And Pudge is actually going to be the ban, so Darkseer is going to be picked up, and that leaves Nature's Prophet for TongFu. And I do believe there was a couple of games from this Day 3 series where Navi picked Pudge. I think it was against Complexity, and Dendi played it fantastically. So a bit of a respect ban there. And nothing all that unusual about the bans right now. Enchantress ban may be leading in towards a Chen pick for Puppy. And so Nature's Prophet and Rubik are going to be the picks for TongFu. So we're going to have a whole bunch of really strong heroes in this game, and it should be a really exciting series. I'm casting this set based on the recommendations of RDota2, the highlights of the day thread, so hopefully they haven't steered me wrong. And so there we go, Chen is going to be the pickup for Navi, so tons of pushing power for them. Getting the Darkseer is always ridiculous. He's so powerful, makes positioning pretty much irrelevant in team fights. It doesn't really matter how you start the fight, your team's gonna end up clustered all next to each other because of the vacuum anyway. And so we'll see what TongFu choose to pick up to help deal with it. The null field on the Rubik is definitely going to help against the damage from the Darkseer and the Leshrac, but maybe looking to pick up someone who's a little bit more viable as a pipe carrier or something along those lines. They've got strong lanes right now, and they've got flexible ones as well. Rubik can be played in that hard support role. I don't really enjoy seeing him played in that role, but he really can do it. So TongFu definitely can be flexible in how they want to draft the rest of us. And Nature's Prophet, as always, able to take a hard lane solo, able to take mid, able to take the jungle, and any hero is able to take the safe lane. So having him on your side means that you've got a lot of pushing power, a lot of flexibility in terms of your lanes, and he's strong throughout the game. Disable and nuke early game, farming up and building all of the items that your team needs late. And TongFu just taking a little bit of time with this last pickup for this first phase. And it'll be interesting to see what they opt for. What's still big that's left in the pool? There's things like the TA. It would leave them quite single target dependent, though. I think they might need to grab some AoE stun or something along those lines just to respond to the team fight that Navi have. the Tidehunter is still in the pool, and he's been extremely popular during this tournament, so I wouldn't be surprised to see one of these two teams pick him up. But so Venomancer is going to be the pickup, so that means he's going to be in the hard support role. Rubik is going to be getting a little bit more farm, and DK is going to be the ban for Na'Vi. So DK, always good. Fantastic pushing power, synergizes with the Nature's Prophet. He grows all the way through the game and just becomes an absolute monster late. So Na'Vi, we'll see if they choose to ban another carry, maybe in the Morphling or something along those lines. And Tinker is actually the ban for TongFu. So maybe leaning towards a little bit more push from them. We'll have to see. They've already got the Nature's Prophet and the Venomancer. Rubik's not a bad pusher himself, so there's still the potential for them maybe to grab the Enigma, as I mentioned. Gives them a little bit more team fight, some more pushing power as well. Nature's Prophet and Enigma, you could put one of them in the jungle, but they're both able to take hard lane solos and things like that. Na'Vi, the question, similar to the one for TongFu, is how they choose to play this Leshrac. Is he going to be played in that hard support role, picking up all of the wards, and in which case he'll be played by Artsart, or maybe we'll see a solo mid Leshrac or something along those lines. They're still quite flexible, and you can even play him in the middle farm roles and just grab maybe a Shadow Demon or something for setup for the Leshrac and put him on the safe lane, Darkseer on the hard lane. So there's still plenty of options left for them, and we'll see what they choose to ban. TongFu are still looking sort of light in terms of the team fight and in terms of reliable stun. They've got the Sprout, which definitely doesn't really count as reliable. There's always going to be Rubik's potential to steal maybe the Leshrac Split Earth, something like that, and his telekinesis is always good. But Venomancer, Venomous Gale, he's got good damage and good slow, but there's no real hold. So maybe they'll be looking to pick up something like the Lina, or who else with a good stun. Earthshaker is always there. He hasn't been favored that much, and they've already sort of got a hard support. So CK is going to be the ban, so Na'Vi thinking that TongFu are still looking for a little bit of a carry right now. Morphling still made it all the way through, and Anti-Mage is there as well. Anti-Mage would definitely not be a bad pickup for TongFu against this Na'Vi lineup. So TongFu, I think Na'Vi could still afford to, they still need to try and find who will figure out what hero is going to be their number one farmer. The Tinker could have been it had they had him, but we'll see what they opt for. If the Morphling stays in, so Sand King's going to be the ban, and a hero that Na'Vi has played really successfully. Havas is just great on that, and yeah, we'll see what they choose to grab. So they actually take the Anti-Mage. If TongFu won it, the Morphling is always there. The Replicate is always a great way to turn Anti-Mage's farm against him and, harass some of his supports down. What else? The Shadow Demon is still there, but they don't really need a hard support, and Venomancer doesn't scale up that well with more farm. So while the Shadow Demon can be good against Anti-Mage, it'll be interesting to see if maybe they choose something like the Quap or the Storm Spirit, both of which have the potential to build an Orchid and have reasonable slow or mobility of their own to help shut down that Anti-Mage. Night Stalker as well, I think, always deserves an honorable mention against Anti-Mage. He has a really good long duration silence, but so Queen of Pain is actually going to be the pickup for TongFu. So a great way to deal with the Anti-Mage. You can keep up to him in terms of mobility, and has enough nuke that until he starts getting some health, the spell shield just isn't enough to keep him alive. And so Puck is going to be the last pickup for Na'Vi. So in terms of lanes, more than likely going to see Darkseer up on top lane, taking that hard lane solo. Maybe Anti-Mage, no, Puck towards the middle lane, Anti-Mage down on the safe lane on bot. Leshrac probably supporting him with Chen in the jungle, so that probably means Leshrac is going to be played by Artsart in this game. And so TongFu, they just need their last pickup. And again, they still don't have a lot of reliable stun, and I think they still need some, so we'll see what they opt for. But Broodmother is actually going to be their last pickup. So synergizing well with the push from the Nature's Prophet and the Venomancer. So probably throwing her maybe up onto the top lane and just seeing what she can do. Directed camera has... Okay, that's not free camera. That's free camera. Yep. So anyway, over on TongFu, we're going to have Kabu playing the Broodmother. It's going to be Mu onto the Rubik, Hao onto the Queen of Pain, nothing all too surprising there. Awoke on the Nature's Prophet, and Sangsheng taking up that hard support role as the Venomancer. So Artsart is going to be on the Leshrac as expected, Puppy on the Chen, no big surprises there. Dendi taking the solo mid role as this Puck. Light of Heaven is going to be on the Darkseer, and it looks like he's heading up towards the top lane. And Havas just using his blink advantage to go and place that ward with impunity. So we'll be getting into this game in just a second. Neither team going for anything at level 1, just putting down some safe wards and heading towards their lanes. We're going to have Kabu down a bot, just chopping down those trees so he can be safe. Looks like Sansheng's actually going to be helping him out down here, so a little bit of a... Well, actually no, he might just be down here to try and ward off the pull and things of that nature. And so yeah, Mu is going to be soloing mid up against Dendi on this Rubik. And his bottle rush is probably going to be a little bit faster. He's opted for more branches. Dendi's got a mantle. So, but Rune Control in this lineup definitely, well, in this setup, probably goes to Puck. He's got the mobility from the Illusory Orb, and I think he has a slightly faster base move speed. No, I lie, he's 5 slower, but Illusory Orb should help guarantee him Rune Control. And yep, so both teams choosing to ward off the other team's pull, and they've both got sight on a rune. And Havas is going to be on this anti-mage, trying to do trying to farm up as much as he can down on bottom lane. And yeah, Puppy in the jungle. So this bottom lane is going to be interesting. And counter warding already going down, and Havas just not able to get that last right click off. And Kabu actually denying their own ward. That is interesting, I guess. But anyway, Artsart is definitely going to need to be careful down in this bottom lane. The kill potential is probably a little bit higher between the Broodmother and the Venomancer compared to the Leshrac and Anti-Mage. And he's going to get harassed down pretty badly. He's still got another sentry left, so going to be able to use that for control. Havas going to get hit by the Venomous Gale, but he's going to be fine to just blink out. I will just pull up last hits and denies, and jumping over to the middle lane, it's looking fairly even. Dendi probably going to get a little bit better of this lane. And I fucking missed first blood down on bot. Sentry ward going down, Puppy coming in with the troll and getting the trap off, killing Kabu. And base kip noobs out, misses first blood again. Sorry guys. And so Kabu going to be heading straight back down. Could afford a TP, didn't want to use it, so Sangcheng going to get a little bit of experience, but getting harassed back by Artsart. Up on top lane, Light of Heaven not going to have a terrible time against this Queen of Pain. Still got plenty of regen left, but Hao is he's going to get the better of it. And so Awoke is just sitting over in this jungle. And again, I'm just wondering where he's going to gank. He's not going to be able to go in and sprout on Dendi. He's got a reliable escape. Puppy's actually being pulled up onto the high ground by this telekinesis from Mu. So he is, going to get chopped up by Artsart using that split earth. So well played by him. But it's such a pain in the ass for the Rubik around to get stuck up on the high ground. And it gives Dendi some more time to grab last hits on mid. He's already up to 14 for 4, while Mu is only on 9. So Dendi definitely looking to have a better time on this middle lane. And yeah, Bottle's going to be flying into him for him in just a second. And Na'Vi, they definitely want to keep sight on this bottom lane. They don't want Broodmother to farm up, and if they can stop her getting her soaring, if they can slow that down, then you can completely shut down her lane control. She really relies on that to harass the other support out of the lane. It's not sustainable to stay in a lane against the spawn spiraling spam. And Hao gonna have his bottle delivered up on top as well. So Light of Heaven almost to his Soul Ring. But Havas and Dendi, along with Light of Heaven, the 3 most farmed heroes on the map right now, doing extremely well. And Na'Vi have that first blood in the bank as well, so not going to look at the gold graph, but Sangcheng actually going to get gone right now by Havas. Trying to do whatever damage they can with the Edict. Stun does hit. Going to be a kill for Havas. Artsart probably going to go down. Kabu, does he have a spawn Spiderlings? Not quite, but he is going to go down. Venomancer dot plus the 2 Spiderlings going to be enough. So Leshrac goes down. Havas still in the middle of this. And Kabu going to go down from the nuke from Puppy. Well played. And Havas, he's got his Ring of Health already and a salve. He's going to be absolutely fine to stay down on this bottom lane. So Na'Vi pick up 2 kills in exchange for 1 and another kill on that Broodmother. So she is not having a good time at all this game. And meanwhile, Na'Vi are doing fine in their other lanes. I mean, Awoke is going to get farmed up, but Puppy is going to equalize that with the Chen as well, and his pushing potential is going to be coming up a little bit earlier, just given how many kills he's been participating in. And Kabu just immediately back down onto this bottom lane, but normally at this point in the game we would expect to see Broodmother with her Soul Ring finished up and just spamming away with, you know, rank 3 Spiderlings, but it's going to be slow, and so we'll see how Kabu adjusts his item build. He's still going to go for the Soul Ring, but what he ends up going for in the mid game will really give away what TongFu's plan is. They don't really have a hard carry that can match the anti-mage, and given how well his game is going already, 2 kills and an assist, we'll have to see if they go for a bit of an early push, maybe get the Manta up, maybe get a Manta up on the Broodmother, something along those lines. And Kabu, yep, getting that last hit, so he's going to be able to go over and finish up his Soul Ring, so Artsart not going to have a fun time anymore on this bottom lane, probably going to get harassed back, but Kabu, he knows there's sentries here, and they haven't been able to get the farm to deal with it. But yeah, spawn Spiderling spam going to start, and looks like Light of Heaven just had to head back to base, but he is not doing badly at all up on this top lane. 24 last hits for him, up against 28 for Hao. And Darkseer is just so strong in the offlane solo. He's probably, him and Lone Dirt are probably the 2 strongest hard lane solos in the entire game. And especially when it's just 1v1, it's not bad for Darkseer at all. And he's up against someone like the Quap, the Surge is enough to get him out. And again, there's not a whole lot of reliable set on TongFu. If Awoke comes in with the Sprout, then he might be in a little bit of trouble, but he can always just cut through with the Vacuum, so not too much of a concern. And Dendi going to be sent back to base, refills his bottle, and then uses the jaunt from the Illusory Orb to come back. So that's also something you can do, I believe, with X marks the spot on Kunkka if it's maxed out, but not quite as reliable. And it's great for Dendi to have control of this middle lane. More mana just means more spam, and it means that Mu is forced out of the lane and he's not getting last hits. He's keeping up with Dendi, but now he's being forced back and has to spend the money to grab a TP to head back in. Havas still just eating this spawn Spiderling spam, but getting some harass on Kabu, and he's fairly low on mana, but the web regen plus those tangos and the salve that he still has left should be fine. And Hao just bottle crowing up on this top lane to help keep this creep wave pushed out. Tower taking a little bit of damage, but not all that much. And Light of Heaven, 2 rings of regen, so likely heading towards a Hood and a Pipe this game, which will be extremely helpful against the spam from the Rubik, the Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain, and the Wrath of Nature from the Nature's Prophet. Kabu, more damage onto Havas. He's still got that Ring of Health, so he's not doing too badly, but the Wrath of Nature actually flies through, and had that been a later bounce, it may have been a kill. Light of Heaven gets hit by the... Hao actually gets grabbed by the Chen creep, and right next to that Ion Shell as well, so he almost went down. But yeah, Light of Heaven got hit by the dagger, but just able to surge away. Like I said, it's gonna take more than just Queen of Pain to kill him. Mood, was he looking for the 8-minute rune? Did he find it? Maybe. Dream Coil onto Mu. Artsart is here. He's going to be lifted up into the air, pulled back, but Mu looks like he's going to go down here. Edict damage, silence on top as well. One more right click, and Artsart does get that last hit. Kabu pushing a little bit down on bottom lane. With Artsart not here, Havas is just going to get harassed back by the Spiderlings. And the Venomous Gale on him. Awoke's threatening the TP in as well. Gonna stay on pace, but the Hand of God pops, so Havas is gonna be absolutely fine. And Awoke just needs to get out. Havas doesn't want to use the blink in case that there's some more disabled to follow, but like Venomancer getting back in range. And this tower's gonna go down, so first tower of the game falling to TongFu. How just hiding up in the trees right now. It looks like Light of Heaven and Puppey, they want this top tier 1 for themselves. Havas getting hit by the second Wrath of Nature down in this bottom lane, just trying to stay in XP range. You know that there's still Kira's around and doesn't want to get caught out. Still has the blink, so doesn't need to be too concerned, but he's still only got 720 health, sitting on those Agi treads, so needs to be careful. Looks like Na'Vi are going to get this top tier 1. And they're in a really good position right now. They've got the harder carry, they're getting good farm on Dendi, and good farm on Havas as well. Mu waiting for the 10-minute rune. Gonna throw Dendi up onto the high ground. Does manage to grab it. And doesn't quite manage to throw him up there, but able to secure that rune for himself. And Dendi with an empty bottle, so he's not going to be too concerned though. He's on full mana. And the thing with this Broodmother is she's just going to keep... Oh, missing a kill. Like a noob again. Sorry guys. I could rewind and watch it, but it's not really in the spirit. Artsart gonna get gone on. Sonic Wave over the top. He's gonna go down. Dendi getting right-clicked. Puppey coming in from the side. Hand of God on cooldown. Dendi's gonna be sent back to base. Illusory Orb goes through. Dendi's gonna just jump straight back with a refilled bottle. And that move is just so great for Dendi, especially with these treads. He's able to tread switch to get a lot more out of his bottle. Moo's gonna TP in, but Havas is immediately gonna start right-clicking on him. Illusions pop. Awoke is here, Sprout onto Havas, Telekinesis breaks the trees though, Moo's just gonna get right-clicked down, Ultimate pops, but he's actually stolen Illusory Orb and jumps into the trees. Hand of God pops now, everybody's up for Na'Vi, and it looks like Hao went down in there as well, along with Awoke. Sansheng looks like he's gonna go down. Orb flying through for Mu, Dendi gonna back off, Sansheng on very low HP, the tier 1 tower in mid going down as well, so Na'Vi definitely getting the better of that engagement. And Havas, 1.7k gold already for him. Kabu's kept pushing down on this bottom lane, so he's not doing too badly, but he's still got a lot of room to make up. I mean, Havas on 62 last hits. If I just switch over to net worth, might be a little bit more instructive. So he's earned 5.1, and Kabu only on 2.6. And Hao's going to just be looking to roam and gank right now, so maybe Kabu could switch it up to that top lane. We'll see what happens, just to try and get some more farm. But Na'Vi are able to go on the aggressive right now, and they don't even really need to. Havas can just keep farming up. They've got good push if they want to take advantage of it, but if TongFu go for these team fights, then I think Na'Vi can win them. They've got the reasonably farmed Darkseer. He's already up to his hood. And I just think they've got better control in these fights, especially with the level of micro that Puppey's displaying on this Chen in this game, and in every game. Puppey is always impressive. So TongFu right now, I think they need to wait until Broodmother can farm up a little bit. They can't take team fights. They can definitely gank, and they've got that potential between the Rubik, the Venomancer, and the Queen of Pain to pick heroes off, but it's gonna have to be things like the Chen and the Leshrac. Everybody else is fairly tanky. Awoke. Well, Havas is in here, gonna get hit by the Queen of Pain. Awoke pops off the ultimate as well. Havas needs to be careful. He's just gonna jump up to safety. And Shadow Strike. I keep wanting to call that Stifling Dagger. I'm not sure why. That's just silly of me. So Puppey, he's picked up some mana boots. He's going to be to his mech very shortly. Dendi picking up a Blink Dagger as well. So he is really farmed. 5k gold picked up on him, and he's probably got a couple of kills. Havas is just going to go straight forward, but he's going to be pulled up into the air by the telekinesis. Hand of God is going to pop to keep him up, and Hao is just going to need to blink to safety. Just dodges that Dream Coil. Putting that on cooldown, so then he's going to have to wait a little bit. The nuking power of Puck is powerful briefly, but it really relies on having a higher level than all of your opponents. I mean, he can barely wipe out a creep wave with Illusory Orb and Waning Rift. And Hao, opting for some early game items, has a Null Talisman, the Bottle, and the Magic Wand, so probably heading towards his first big item now, but was probably looking to do a little bit more ganking than he's managed to pull off. Again, the Navi heroes just have fantastic escape without lockdown. You've got the Puck, you've got the Anti-Mage. Neither of them are going to go down without a concentrated stun chain or a good silence. And so, and then the Darkseer as well. He's got Surge, and without stuns, he's just going to be running away from the Venomous Gale and the Shadow Strike. Mu steals Havas's blink. Hao goes forward, Shadow Strike onto him. But just the nuke dodges the Shadow Strike with the blink. And again, TongFu, they want these kills, but they just don't have the skills to, well, the abilities to pull it off. And Navi just keep pushing. There's only one tier 1 left for them to take. Kalbo's going to keep pushing down on this bottom lane, but Light of Heaven is able to take care of that quite easily. The Spiderlings just don't stand a chance at all against the Ion Shell. And Navi, if you're in their position right now, you have to be really happy. They're up 6 kills, 5k XP, 5k gold, and they've got the harder carry as well, so the onus is definitely not on them to make a move. TongFu, they need to find a little bit more farm. Maybe, how's Awoke doing? He's heading towards some early game items. And a Medallion picked up as well, so the potential's there between the Treants tanking and their damage just to go for Roshan at some point, if they can get some heroes down. But again, it's really going to come down to getting those kills, and the mobility on Navi is making it really difficult. Havas is just getting richer and richer, and he's going to have his Battle Fury soon, and once he gets there, the farm is just not going to stop. It's definitely not over for TongFu, and it's not over in the slightest, but they're on the back foot right now, and they need to try and find something. Moo's going to head down to this bottom lane. Light of Heaven, maybe in a little bit of trouble. Moo has that blink, maybe looking to steal something else. Kabu going to pop the ultimate. Light of Heaven uses the Surge going around, but the blink and the telekinesis is going to pull him back. Awoke is down here as well, but there's no stun to cancel this TP, and he's just going to get straight out. Again, just lack of stun really hurts these guys, and ultimate pops from Havas. Kabu too much mana to die to that. Havas with the DD rune as well, so Mu just going to steal the Mana Void. On the mid lane, Sangcheng in trouble, Dream Coil and the stun on top of him. He's going to go down. And Navi should be able to grab this tier 2 as well. They're just in such a fantastic position. TongFu, none of their ganks have been going their way, and we'll see if they try to take this team fight to defend their tier 2. How gonna get grabbed by the Chen creep. Light of Heaven, Surge forward, Vacuum, Havas just right-clicking on Moose, stun as well. Great team play from Navi, and another kill. Should be the tier 2 tower. They're just in a great position. Sonic Wave flies over the top, but now Hao is in trouble. Really low on mana. Havas, able to chase, doesn't have that Mana Void, but it looks like Hao's gonna go down. Doesn't have enough mana to blink out, so yeah, one last right-click from Dendi. And double kill for Dendi. 2 heroes down for TongFu. And Arts are going to be sent back to base, but Navi, they are 100% in control of this game right now. Kabu's still trying to farm up, but that early game really hurt him. And again, he's going for an Orchid, so that's really going to help against the issues that they're having with the mobility on the Puck, the Anti-Mage, and the Puck, Anti-Mage, and the Darkseer, but it might just be a little bit too little too late. I mean, TongFu are losing more and more towers, and unless they can take a team fight soon, they're going to be in trouble. That Orchid is going to be there shortly, but Kabu's only got 900 HP, doesn't have the survivability to stay in these fights for very long. And Havas, he's finished up his Battle Fury, so item after item after item is just going to be coming up for him right now. And Navi are going to be more than happy to just push directly onto this bottom lane. And again, like, I think I've said this before, and I'll just keep reiterating it, that when you push, you're just effectively, you're daring your opponent to stop you. You're saying, well, come and take the team fight, come and stop us, otherwise we're going to get more farmed. But Navi are in a better position for these team fights right now, so TongFu, they're just going to have to play their positioning really smartly. But the initiate from Dendi can come at any time, and the silence on top of a couple of these TongFu heroes, they're going to be going down extremely quickly. And Moo's just going to get vacuumed back, but has that blink, so he's able to stay safe. The Venomancer wards are down, but this tower is just dropping. Moo moves forward. Looks like he wants to go for something right now, but still has that blink, so knows he's reasonably safe. And Navi are just going to pop a smoke and TP towards mid. And again, they're happy to push. I mean, if TongFu want to initiate and take the team fight, then Navi will go for it, but it's not up to them to be looking for the ganks and looking for the kills. They're in the advantageous farming position right now. They're getting more farm from the map just because they've got better map control right now. And Navi are just going to be heading up towards top to try and gank on Awoke. Dendi uses the blink, and 3 heroes moving in from the side. Dream Coil pops. Is Awoke going to be able to make it out? Moo comes forward. Telekinesis onto Dendi. Artset and Havas are going for it. Awoke just running away from Havas right now. Navi moving into the jungle. And Moo still has that blink, so he's happy to stay at the front lines. And Navi, looks like they're going to form up for a little bit of a push right now. Kabu probably going to just keep pushing down on this bottom lane. Maybe pick up a tier 2 if Navi decide to dedicate to this push, but they don't need to. They're happy to just let the anti-mage farm and then send heroes down bot to stop the Broodmother pushing. And Light of Heaven already with a pipe, so just soaking up the majority of that damage from that Sonic Wave and the Poison Nova in these team fights. So Light of Heaven on the front lines. Howard gets vacuumed back and silenced as well by Dendi with the blink in. He's going to go down immediately. And it's going to be another tower for Na'Vi. Kabu's going to stay down on bottom lane and maybe try and push, but Havas is just going to TP down as well and clean up all of these spiderlings. And we'll see if Na'Vi decide to keep this push going. And Hand of God pops Havas in trouble on bot and actually does get picked off. And looks like it's going to be a tier 2 for TongFu. Will Na'Vi go for the trade? Sangcheng looks like he's a little bit caught out. Vacuum back, he's going to go down. Pops the Poison Nova to do whatever damage he can. Maybe slow down this Na'Vi push. But I just didn't think Havas would go down in that bot lane, but I guess Awoke TPing in and Moo coming in with the blink was enough. And Kabu's got the Orchid, so they've now got the potential to kill this anti-mage. Light of Heaven going to defend. Tier 2 on top, probably going to fall. Yep, Edict's popped, so it's going to go down. Puck just getting the last hit. And Dendi opting for a Dagon. Happy with how much farm he's getting in this game, and does just use that trick again with the Illusory Rope, jump back to base, and pick it up. I don't know if he's actually legitimately walked back or TP'd back to base once this game. He's able to stay regened up because of the just tread swapping and using the bottle. And it's a fantastic trick. I've never actually thought of it. And the silence goes forward onto How. Dream Coil on him as well. He's going to be in trouble. Going to go down. Dagon enough to finish him off. But Na'Vi, they're just completely in control of this game right now. Up 14-3. Kabu's going to keep pushing down this bottom lane. And the tier 2 tower did go down after they finished off Havas. But Havas ready to his Yasha. Probably looking to pick up a Manta style soon. And here we go, TongFu heading into the Roshan pit. Venomancer wards getting spawned up, and the medallion popping off as well. There was no sight on this for Na'Vi, but we'll see if they suspect something is up. And it might just be a little bit of an edge that TongFu need to get back into this game. Until they start losing Braxes, they're definitely not out of it, but they need to go for something sooner rather than later, especially with this anti-mage just farming up. And they've got that Orchid on Kabu now as well, so all of the problems that they were having with just being unable to finish off kills should be helped a little bit by that. But Na'Vi are already in a really commanding position, so it's going to take some exceptional play from TongFu to bring this back. Light of Heaven's just going to move straight forward, Ion Shell, but doesn't know well, actually does know where all of the TongFu heroes are right now, so just not wanting to go in. No one really there to back him up except for Dendi. And Dagon definitely not too much of a, well, some people might criticize it as a non-serious pickup. But anyway, Moo's going to go down here on the middle lane. He's got the Aegis, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it out. Can he steal and escape? Not going to be able to do so. It actually does get the blink and gets up onto the high ground, but Havas is just going to keep chasing. Telekinesis, Moo waits for the blink cooldown, jumps over. Fantastic play by him. Havas is going to keep chasing, but I don't think he's going to find him. And Moo just blinking around. Has a gem, but no TP, so just going to keep relying on the blink to try and get him out of here. But fantastically played by him. And Artsart just getting a deny on this middle lane. Zapping Puppy, jumping past, grabbing Dendi. Is he going to be okay to get out? Gets silenced. No, he's actually going to go down here, and the Artsart's done. Finishes him off. Hao coming in from the side, but there's no backup, so needs to be careful. And unlucky for Moo. It was exceptional play to get him out of there, but just not able to make it all the way back to base. And Kabu continues to farm down on bottom lane. He's picked up an Ogre Club, so heading towards a BKB. And it gives him the survivability that he needs to be able to stay in these team fights. I know that I pointed out earlier that he was fairly squishy once he had just finished up that Orchid, but the BKB is going to be a big help. He's a little way away from it, but again, the time that it takes him to finish that up is going to be more time for Havas to farm. And he's already got 2.3k, so able to pick up that Manta style really, really soon. What is Hao farming towards? Has picked up a point booster, so maybe heading towards an Aghanims. Needs to get level 16 for that as well to really make the most of it, but it's going to be a big help in these fights, and it's good for counter push as well. You don't feel too bad about spamming, about using your ultimate on a big creep wave, given how low the cooldown is with that Aghanims. Kabu needs to be careful down in this bottom lane. Light of Heaven going to surge forward, but nobody from Navi really in position to help him out. And Awoke, how is he doing? He's actually opted to now pick up a Hand of Midas. So, early game items for him to start, but the Hand of Midas, it can speed up a Scythe of Ice, and it gives him a little bit more damage, but it's fairly late in the game to pick it up. I should have been keeping more of an eye on that. Dendi in trouble down on bot. Hand of God pops. He's going to stay up. Kabu's going to go down. Jumps into that phase shift. Moo comes forward, trying to zap Dendi, but he's going to be jumping off to the side. Gem of True Sight. No, actually, no. Rubik got the kill there. I thought Dendi was going to be fine. My bad. Hao blinks forward, and Shadow Strike on to Light of Heaven. But both teams just backing off for now. A hero down for each of them. And I am just missing so many kills this game. I feel terrible. Sorry, guys. It's really unfortunate. But Havas keeps farming. Finish up the Manta style. Well, heading back up towards that top lane. And we'll see what he opts to farm for now. Probably just going to opt for a Scythe of Ice. Again, TongFu just need more reliable disable to deal with these team fights. Havas not caring all that much about getting slowed down. And he's going to keep farming. I mean, TongFu, they need to get some... They're getting back into a better position right now, and they haven't really lost ground in the last little bit. I mean, they've started to pull the gold graph back in their favor, or at least flatten it out. But Dendi's going to immediately go into Awoke, and he's just going to try and TP out. But the silence is going to be there, and the Dream Coil as well, maybe? Yes, so Awoke's going to go down. So, 1v1 kill for... But a team fight breaking out down on bot. Courier needs to be careful. And Awoke buying back, 2 heroes dead, so... Not really following where the action was there. How can it just try and push on the mid lane, realizing that they're not going to be able to hold off this tier 2. And Havas just going to clear up the creep wave. And Dendi, he's happy to stay up on top lane as well, so maybe not going for this Rax push just yet. Fortification popped as well, so TongFu thinking that maybe Navi aren't going to go high ground on this one, and that they'll have enough time to get heroes back up, but looks like Navi might just go for it, or at least they're threatening. Havas getting some damage on the tower. How blinking forward, but looks like it. Havas disjoining that Shadow Strike. And again, 2.6k gold on him, so another big item's going to be there soon. And TongFu, yeah, Kabu, BKB still getting set back by these deaths, and he has not had the game that he would have wanted. And again, Awoke, he's grabbed his Hand of Midas. He wants to try and get to another big item soon, and after spending all of the gold on that, but he's getting delayed by these deaths. And how, instead of opting, well, Dendi's just going to go on how silence, but he's going to have the blink in just a second, so not going to be too concerned. But looks like he's heading for a Scythe device as well, so more disable in these fights. It's what they need, and it's what held them back early game. Just a lack of reliable stun against the mobility of the Na'Vi lineup. Puppey with an invis rune. I'm going to spot out Mu right now. Heroes moving into position for Na'Vi. Dendi is here, along with Light of Heaven. He surges forward. Awoke is here as well. Silence on Samu. He's going to go down from the nukes. Maybe gets healed. Vacuum, Awoke and How stuck in the middle of this. And the stuns from the Centaurs. Puppey doing so well. How maybe even going to go down here. No, managed just to blink off to the side. Pops a Sonic Wave. Dendi looks like he dodged that. One last right click. Disjointed by How. Light of Heaven still wants him. Sansheng popping off the Poison Nova, going to be picked off by Artsart. Kabu in the middle of this fight, taking quite a bit of damage, and gets stunned again by these Chen creeps. Puppey is just doing so well. And 3 for 1 the trade for TongFu. And is it How with a buyback? Maybe. No, not on cooldown. But fantastic fight for Na'Vi, and that creep micro from Puppey was just out of this world. I mean, Quap almost going down in the duration of the Centaur stuns, and just trying to clean up those creeps right now. But Na'Vi gonna go high ground, get the tier 3 tower, and looks like the Rax is gonna be falling as well. TongFu are back in position, but Na'Vi are still fine on health and mana, and they're able to take a team fight straight away. How just getting decimated by that right click, and Havas still hasn't even popped that Manta style just yet. And Na'Vi backing off for now. Kabu's going to be up in a second, and Dendi only just respawning now, so they got the tower and should be fine. Again, to back off, they've got the better position in this game, and it's not up to them to have to try and force anything when they've got the anti-mage. And Darkseer getting an Ags as well, so that wall is just so painful. 140%, so the damage that your illusions do is more than the combined right click of the enemy team on top of your team's damage. When it created friendly illusions, it was even more ridiculous, but it's still so strong. And so even if TongFu start to get some big right click damage up, they're just going to be in trouble because of that. If they were in a bad position before, they're in an awful position now. 20k XP the difference, 15k gold. Na'Vi are just farming so well. They're completely in command of this game. And TongFu, you can't count them out just yet, but they're definitely not in a good position. Scythe device picked up, so Havas needs to be careful. Blink forward. Silent as well, stacking those disables a little bit. Telekinesis, Hand of God. Is Havas going to be able to make it out? Pops the Manta style and just blinks away, but Mu and How, they both have blinks. Looks like Havas is going to go down. But well played by TongFu, but a big 5-man gank on Havas to pick that up. And yeah, I mean, it's a good pickup for them, but it's not enough to turn the game around. But a couple more of those, and they could start to get back into a better position. Kabu's going to have his BKB quite soon, just another 900 gold for him. And so we'll see what Na'Vi choose to do. Probably just going to wait for Havas to respawn. And Sancheng opting to pick up a hood. So sick of just getting nuked down. And 2 bracers as well, so he's reasonably tanky. How, again with that Scythe device. Awoke has that farm coming along, 2.6k for him. Hand of Might is going to be off cooldown in just a second as well, but he would definitely like to have another big item up sooner rather than later. And going to go for this Roshan again, so TongFu going to be able to, well, if they can pick this up, get a little bit further back towards taking this game back. But Na'Vi, they might be a little bit suspicious of this. They saw heroes moving through mid, and Hao is blinking towards the Roshan pit right now, so they might know that something is up, but not going to contest it. And Hao gonna pick up that Aegis. So TongFu with a little bit of an advantage going into this next team fight. But it's a little bit of an advantage compared to just going 5v5, but again, they're fighting up against the wall of replica and all of the extra farm that Na'Vi have. What's Havas up to build? He's got a heart up as well. So there is just... Well, I want to say there's no killing him, but I'm sure I'm going to be proven wrong, so... Well, won't say that. But Na'Vi just going to form up and go for a push right now. The Rax is exposed on mid. And I don't know if TongFu can take them in a head-on confrontation. And Puppy with the Hand of God and an Axe hit of his own. Havas probably, yeah, gonna wait maybe for the fortification and then pop the Manta Stele. But they should be able to pick this up regardless. And Mu gonna get vacuumed into the Centaur stuns. He's gonna be picked up before the fight even starts. Hand of God is gonna pop. Kabu BKB'd up but needs to run away. Dream Coil's on him. Hao blinking back to safety, but gonna get immediately hit by that Mana Void and go down. Had the Aegis, but the Rax is dying as we speak. And TongFu is getting vacuumed in. Awoke probably going to go down. Havas going to keep chasing. Not too concerned about health. Blink off cooldown. Goes back to safety. Na'Vi don't want to overextend. There's no reason to die right now. Drum going to pop off. Should be able to pick up this tier 3 and another Rax as well. The second Hand of God. That 40-second cooldown doing so much work. And Kabu just forced to hide off to the side. Maybe just waiting for that Orchid cooldown. But Awoke's going to get gone on again. Hao still silenced. Dagon not going to be picked off. But Kabu in the back of that fight does go down. And this is looking like the end for TongFu. Last, this is an all-in defense, but it's not going to be enough. Sancheng going down, Awoke going to go down again. And multi-kills everywhere, so TongFu going to call the GG. Na'Vi just playing phenomenally. And from the word go, very much in control of that game, so just gonna wait for the final score screen. What else is worth saying? Again, I really think TongFu, they were hurt by their lack of hard disable against the team that the lineup that Na'Vi had, and just come on, final score screen. This has been a game from the international preliminaries. I missed about 1 million kills in this game, but hopefully my casting is getting better all the time, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys again. I'm going to jump straight into game 2. So if anybody is watching, stay tuned for that. I might just go and grab a glass of water or something like that.